Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Proposed Commanders trade lands first-round pick from Cowboys. The Washington Commanders have 9 picks in the 2024 NFL Draft, tied for the third most in the league. While all the talk has been on the number 2 pick, the Commanders have 3 of the first 40 picks. In a proposed trade from Mauricio Rodriguez of A to Z Sports, the Commanders would receive a first-round pick from the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for the number 36 and number 67 picks. Rodriguez writes that the Commanders need an edge rusher, and this allows them to take one in the first round. The Commanders are loaded with ammo to make moves throughout the NFL Draft, and let me tell you this, they need edge rusher help. Moving up to 24th would give them a shot at Darius Robinson or another first-round pass rusher. Robinson fits Quinn's mold with size and position flex. Meanwhile, the Cowboys could land a third-rounder while moving down to 36th. With so many holes to fill, this would be an attractive proposition for the team, although they'd run the risk of missing out on their favorite offensive lineman. This is, personally, my favorite trade idea of the above 3. Plus, who doesn't love making a deal with a division rival? The Cowboys would go from number 24 to number 36, but get the extra third-round pick at number 67, which could interest them. After trading Montez Sweat and Chase Young last season, the Washington Commanders could use an edge rusher. The Commanders added impressive pieces to their defense this offseason with Bobby Wagner, Dante Fowler Jr., Frankie Louvu, Dorrance Armstrong, and others, but finding a young pass rusher to learn from new head coach Dan Quinn could be something that interests Washington. Rodriguez wants to see this trade happen as it gets them a player who can replace Young and Sweat. The replacement he names is Darius Robinson of Missouri. I'd love to see this happen for the Commanders if they're truly pursuing a specific talent like Robinson. Washington just lost Chase Young and Montez Sweat last season, and the new faces joining the team aren't really the future for Quinn's defense, but rather placeholders. Robinson is unlikely going to make 36th overall if we factor in positional value. Our own film specialist James Foster ranks the Missouri product as the 29th best prospect of the draft, but many needy teams could jump the gun on him. The Dallas Cowboys have had a quiet offseason, especially in comparison to the Washington Commanders. The Commanders had many more moves they needed to make after finishing 4-13, compared to the Cowboys' 12-5 record, but it was still surprising to see Dallas have a slow offseason. Rodriguez adds that the Cowboys have many roster holes and after the underwhelming offseason, could be interested in trading 2 picks for 1. The Cowboys might be interested in trading down as they've got many roster holes to fill after an underwhelming offseason. Although the Commanders could also use the picks, they might be in business for a game-changing talent near the end of the first round. Another Dallas Cowboys superstar shockingly did not show up for the start of the 2024 offseason. The Dallas Cowboys are far from the all-in promise that Jerry Jones made to begin the offseason. It was earlier reported that CeeDee Lamb will not be in the building to start the offseason, and now fellow superstar Micah Parsons is not going to be either. Between the issues they are having with both of these stars, and the whole situation that is going on with Dak Prescott's contract negotiations, the team is spiraling in the wrong direction to begin the 2024 season. CeeDee is waiting for his big contract that he most certainly deserves, and while he said he does not plan to hold out, it does seem that he wants a contract extension ASAP. Per Andrew Gould of The Spun, on Friday, Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News wrote that Lamb's representatives and the Cowboys have yet to hold substantial talks about a new deal. Earlier this year, Lamb said he'd ideally hope to become the league's highest-paid wide receiver. When asked about Lamb not participating in early offseason workouts without a long-term contract, a source told Hill, "Why would he? We will have to wait and see if Lamb is going to sit out for even more time, and while he said he does not plan to, that may just be because he believes his contract is coming soon." There is just no way that the Cowboys will be able to keep all their stars together for the long-term future. They have had to make numerous tough decisions this offseason, and they are looking much worse now than they did before their playoff game last season. In regard to Parsons, he has 2 more seasons left on his rookie contract, but he will also need to get paid. He may require the most money of any defensive player in the league. While the time is getting closer for both of these stars to get their money, the Cowboys have been dealing with it in the worst way. Micah is one of the best in the NFL, and he will need to get paid like he is. It is possible that one of the guys leaves the team in the near future. Parsons also did not attend the team's voluntary program, and we will have to wait and see if he holds out or is at training camp as usual. Either way, it seems that the all-in sentiment that Jerry Jones said the team would have is non-existent. There may be major changes coming for Dallas very soon. Cowboys urged to land 27 TD QB as potential Dak Prescott replacement. The Dallas Cowboys could be target a dual-threat quarterback as a potential insurance policy for Dak Prescott. Entering the 2024 NFL Draft, the Cowboys have a potential quarterback dilemma on their hands. Prescott is entering the final year of his contract, and there are no immediate talks for a new deal. While Dallas remains adamant that Prescott is in their plans for the future, the reality is that he could leave the team in free agency next offseason. As Bleacher Report's Maurice Moton writes, Florida State's Jordan Travis is one quarterback the Cowboys should target as a potential replacement for Prescott. If the Cowboys can harness Travis' athleticism without limiting his upside as a playmaker, he could become a dynamic signal caller with the team's supporting cast, writes Moton. The 23-year-old Travis was actually a favorite to win the Heisman Trophy during the 2023 season, leading the Seminoles to an 11-0 record and on the verge of a college football playoff appearance. However, he suffered a season-ending broken leg injury against North Alabama while fighting for extra yardage. Prior to his injury, Travis had thrown for 20 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions for a 64.1% completion rate in addition to 7 touchdowns. While Travis is still working to recover fully from his leg injury, he expects to be fully recovered in time for spring workouts. Via Cherian Williams of NBC Sports, "At this point, I'm taking it day by day," Travis said. "I'm so thankful to wake up every single day, look down at my shoes, and I'm so grateful. It's been a journey, for sure. My family has helped me get through it. But yeah, I should be ready by May. That's my goal. May, June, so ready for it." While the idea of selecting Travis may not be overly exciting for Cowboys fans when it comes to considering potential Prescott replacements, it's a move that makes sense because it's low risk and high reward. Travis isn't expected to be selected until the later rounds of the draft. That means if the Cowboys were to select Travis anywhere from the 5th to 7th rounds, there won't be any sort of quarterback controversy regardless of Prescott's contract situation. However, Travis could be ready to develop into a viable quarterback once he goes through a full pro season recovered from his leg injury. As Moton mentions, Travis has been one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league over the past 2 seasons. That being said, the 23-year-old looked like one of the best dual-threat signal callers in the country over the past 2 years, throwing for 5,970 yards, 44 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions while rushing for 593 yards and 14 touchdowns in that stretch, writes Moton. The Cowboys have 2 other quarterbacks on its roster in Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. While Rush is a valued backup and holds a 5-1 career record as starter, Dallas won't be leaning on him to be its franchise quarterback if Prescott leaves. Lance is a possibility, considering his former number 3 pick status and the fact that Dallas gave up draft capital to acquire him. However, he's largely an unknown at this stage of his career after starting just 4 games. Drafting Travis will cost the Cowboys absolutely nothing while giving them a potential replacement for Prescott. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Jordan Travis? Leave your opinion in the comments.